Hello everyone. Welcome to my third video. Today I will be testing something different. Today's video will be about testing my newly bought laptop. The laptop is Acer Aspire E5-575G with Intel i5-7200U, a 2.7 GHz, dual-core, hyper-threaded processor, and Nvidia GTX 940MX, a 2 GB DDR4 Maxwell graphics processor. I've overclocked the GPU slightly for this video and added 200 MHz on the memory and 135 MHz addition for the core, as this is the maximum allowed increase in frequency. So, let's go straight to the testing. Firstly, I've tried a few 3D Mark tests. First one is CloudGate. It's the least taxing benchmark from 3D Mark suite I've tried, and the graphical score there was 13,189 points. Overclocking the GPU upped this score to 14,441 points, which is 9.5% increase. Next one was Skydiver. Graphics score there, at stock, was 7,577 points. Overclocking boosted the score by 12.6% to 8,532 points. Another one was Firestrike Benchmark. At stock the score was 2,268 points, and overclock gave 13.4% increase to performance and score got to 2,574 points. Last and most demanding from 3D Mark tests is TimeSpy. Stock score was 663 points and overclocking netted the highest gains in my 3D Mark suite testing. Score increased by 14.1% to 757 points. After that I've ran a few Unigen benchmarks. First is Heaven benchmark. I've chose Extreme preset and at stock my laptop averaged 12.4 FPS. Overclocking gave 1.4 additional frames per second. Next is Valley benchmark. With Extreme HD preset selected, the average was 10 FPS. Boosting the stock clocks up the average to 11.4 frames per second. Last benchmark from Unigen is Superposition. I've selected the 720p low preset and the score was 3,426 points. Slight increase in core and memory clocks resulted in almost 500 additional points. In the end, I've did a couple of gaming benchmarks. First game is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. This game ran very smoothly on this laptop. With maximum graphical settings at 1920 by 1080, the average frame rate was 69 frames per second. There were some slight drops below 60, but minimums never got below 33. Overclocking added 10 FPS on average and boosted the minimums by quite a bit. Another game that I've tried was Battlefield 3. I chose low preset for graphical settings and set the resolution to 1920 by 1080. The game ran very smoothly, with the average FPS of 56. Even though there were some frame drops to about 30, it wasn't really noticeable. Overclocking gave 6 additional frames per second and improved minimums by quite a bit. Next game is Dirt 3. With high settings preset at 1080p, the game was very smooth. With these settings it achieved 52 FPS, and minimums were way above 30. Overclocking added 5 to 6 frames per second on those values and gameplay felt even smoother. Another game is NBA 2K17. I set the resolution to 1080p, and put graphical settings to medium with anti-aliasing at 2x. Performance wasn't flawless, but I consider 29 FPS to be quite smooth. There were some stuttering while playing, although it did not worsen the gameplay much. Overclocking did not improve frame rate very noticeably, but the whole gameplay felt quite a bit smoother when GPU frequency was increased. Last game I've tested was Counter-Strike Global Offensive. With maximum graphical settings and resolution set at 1080p, the game was very smooth. Although there were some slowdowns, they did not impact the gameplay much. The average was again 69 FPS, although it slowed down to 17 on rare occasions. Overclocking gave 6 more frames per second on average, and minimums got a bit better too. In conclusion, I could say that this laptop, while clearly not the highest end one, is quite capable of running less demanding and older games. The results I've achieved are actually quite a bit better than the ones of GT 730, that I tested in the previous video, so even more demanding titles should run quite fine on this computer with lower settings at 1080p or 720p. That's it folks. Thank you for watching and I hope you've liked it.